I spent most of my career working for corporations. I used to work with somebody that had been with the company for a very long time. And one of the nuggets of wisdom that he offered was anytime you are in a meeting, you feel like you have to participate, ask yourself one question before you proceed. Can I take this opportunity to keep my mouth shut? But the answer is not no. Then you may want to pause and just take the opportunity.
Welcome to People at Pyramid. On this show, we like to introduce you to your fellow members and learn what's going on inside of the club. So let's get right over to our host, Vince Quinn, to meet our guest for today.
Hi everyone, my name is Deep Parmar. I'm the founder and CEO for Caramel Advisors, which is an outsourced accounting firm. I've been a member at Pyramid Club for a couple of years now.
All right, and so let's talk about the accounting firm, because there's a lot of things. You can say accounting, right? But obviously there's like a million things that go into that. So what are the layers of what you do there?
So we support companies with their basic end-to-end bookkeeping needs, but then we also support them with their tax needs and their audit needs, and as well as on top of that, their budget and financial planning and analysis needs.
Yeah, and I love guys like you in the sense that I'm terrible with numbers. I don't want to spend time on numbers. I want somebody else to do the numbers and just tell me what I need to do. You know what I mean?
That's where we come in. We're going to take that off your plate, Vince. We're going to go ahead and do the numbers. You do the rest.
Yeah. And so what are the ranges of businesses that you tend to work with?
That's interesting. It's pretty much across the board. We have clients that are in pre-revenue stage. We have clients that are, in hundreds of $1 million range. Industry-wise, they span from, service industry, IT industry, online retail, physical retail shops, franchise businesses, manufacturing, all of it.
Which has got to be fun, right? Because like the things that you learn when you encounter all of these different businesses and you understand like, oh, in this industry, they have these very weird regulations, or like, I can't imagine the depth of information that you come across from all that.
It's like fingerprints.
Yeah.
Each industry, each company is different. You may think that they're all the same. You can talk to one marketing agency and then another one, completely different.
Yeah. Like I've seen that with titles, for example, too, right? Like I had a time where I was interviewing a lot of chief marketing officers and you talk to them about how they see this stuff. And just from the top line of it, some of them were deeply analytical and data driven. And that was all they really cared about. And then everything below them was the creatives, or vice versa, where it's, oh, I'm the creative and that's all I care about. And so the approach and like the scope of what they actually cover and all, it's crazy how different everything is when you look into it.
Exactly. And the way they look at their business, so how you have to classify the business on the books, they could both be serving the same type of client, but the way they classify the business within their firm or on their books is going to be completely different.
Here's part of the curiosity is, first off, how many people are on the team, Deep?
So now I think we are north of 100. We are, I think, almost 120 people in total. So it's been a good run and we're fortunate.
Yeah. So where are those people located?
Most of them are located in India. They are in a place called Ahmedabad. Ahmedabad is a city in India, which is, I would say, if you look at the map and you see Mumbai, it's going to be about 400 miles or so north of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, what is it like when you've got a team that's that big, right? And it is in India. I mean, the time difference alone is something to me of like, I don't even know where to begin to like manage something like that.
And India kind of makes it a little bit trickier because the time difference is not in full hours. It's 10 and a half hours. So,
oh my God.
So fun time doing the math.
Oh, wow. Well, you have the right team to do the math for it, right?
Exactly.
So
So usually when you call up somebody, the first question is, all right, so what time is it now?
Yeah.
I have a rough idea. You're 10 hours ahead of me, but it's 10 and a half. So what time is it now? But the team does a great job with that. We don't operate on a full India day. We don't operate on a full US day. So they kind of operate on a hybrid day. They are available, from really early in the morning, and then they work with us till about 1 to 2 p.m. our time. So there's enough of an overlap, and it's a little bit late for them, but not too much.
Yeah. So, with all of that, I want to take it a little bit further now because we tend to ask some questions before we get started on the show here. And one of the things we ask, I always enjoy this question, is if you could give a TED talk to people about something, what would it be? And you had a very fun answer, which I'm very curious about, which is you wanted to talk about your lessons learned both as a founder as well as a corporate citizen. And so, first off, how do you define corporate citizen in your words?
So I spent most of my career working for corporations. I worked as a CFO, VP of finance, analyst, manager, all sorts of different roles working for companies. So that's, to me, what a corporate citizen is, somebody who's existing in the corporate world. And during that course of time, I picked up a lot of lessons from various people that I worked with, and several stayed with me. And if I were to talk to some folks about something, it would be perhaps something from there.
Okay, like what? If there was a lesson that really sticks with you from that time, all of those experiences, what's something that stands out?
I used to work with somebody that had had been with the company for a very long time, probably over 40 years. Very senior person, seasoned veteran, and had lots and lots of nuggets to offer. And one of the nuggets of wisdom that he offered was, he told me, Deep, anytime you are in a meeting or in a place where you are asked a question and you feel like you have to participate, ask yourself one question before you proceed. And the question is, can I take this opportunity to keep my mouth shut? And if the answer is no, by all means go ahead. But the answer is not no, then you may want to pause and just take the opportunity. And it sounded counterintuitive at the time, but it has helped me many, many times. It's saved my bacon many times, and I haven't gone ahead and, blurted out something that I perhaps shouldn't have.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because we've been working on a project right now with a client, right? And they wanted some changes to some old videos that they had done. And it got to the point where it very quickly snowballed into like a very big scope of project. And it was going to have to be done in a very short amount of time. And we're like, oh my God, like, what are we going to do with all this? And then before we started doing all this work, which would have cost thousands of dollars for our client and like caused all these problems, I was like, all right, we're going to review, what is this project? Like, what are we even doing here? Right. And like, what do we actually want to get out of this that's led us to say that we need this kind of work? And it was such a funny thing because once we stepped back and did that, we actually canceled the entire slate of what was requested. And for us, like, it's funny because our business, like, we're not making the money from doing that work, but I would rather give them the good advice and not do advice. I became a 16-year-old for 3 seconds there. I'd rather give them the good advice and not go down that road and build the long-term relationship. But it's easy for things to go crazy because you just don't understand exactly what or why,
It's true. That is true. Very true.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, okay, I love that. And I mean, for the other side of it, right, is people who do speak out of turn, and then like it can get really messy.
It does get messy, and if you take the opportunity, you would be thankful.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, take some time and yeah, let it soak in from time to time, people. You'll be better off. Just let it breathe a little bit. And so what I want to do now, Deep, is I want to take it. We've covered a lot of things on the business side, professional side. I want to know the guy. Like, what are you up to? Not to say I didn't learn things about you in this conversation, but like in your free time, right? You're not busy. It's the weekend, Memorial Day weekend, whatever it might be. So what do you like to do in your free time?
I enjoy cooking. I like reading. I like to travel. I have 2 boys, so I think some of those things get limited, but cooking's actually picked up with the kids. So
Okay.
I enjoy it, and fortunately, they enjoy it too.
Yeah, well, that's it. That's the win. Right? Because I'm trying to be a better cook. Like I do a lot of the cooking at home, and every time I'm like making dinner, I'm like to my wife, I'm like, so how the hell was it? You know, like is this good? Like, am I feeding you stuff and you go out to because you're like begging to go to dinner, so I'm not cooking? You know, like where are we with this?
You
So
want 5 stars, right?
yeah, it's amazing. So okay, what do you like to cook? If I was to invite you to a party and you could bring one dish, what would you bring?
Um, Probably might be what I almost always end up cooking for my kids, which is biryani, chicken biryani.
Okay,
And I dare say it comes out pretty good.
yeah. All right. When did you start cooking? Like, when did you get into it?
I started cooking when I was a teenager. And it's interesting because I grew up in India, and as I was growing up, there was some perceptions in the society out there. And one thing was that, if you're a man, you were not supposed to know how to cook or take care of yourself.
Mhm.
Yeah. A man's ability was judged by his capacity to earn, and a woman's was judged by how they manage the household and kitchen. Perceptions, I don't agree with them, but that's what it was. So I set out to prove that wrong and saying, you're just thinking of me as someone who can, you know, earn some money and bring some money in. But I want to take care of the house and learn that. So I started doing that, and I started learning from my mom and like what she was cooking, and I started with what I liked. So I like to eat, the chicken you make, so I want to learn that. And went from there, and what I found was that I enjoyed it because when you're cooking, you have to pay attention to that. And when you pay attention to that, it takes your mind off of other things.
Yes.
And that was good. So, you can spend half an hour, whatever it takes. And it's nice because it takes your mind away from other things.
Yep.
So it became a habit after that and kept doing that. And I think the first apartment I got, I basically lived by myself, cooked, cleaned, did everything, and found that I enjoyed it and I felt free.
Yeah. No, I'm with you 100%. I mean, for all this, that you're thinking about a million different things and making all these decisions. And like, even when you have a second of free time, you end up looking at your phone or whatever.
Exactly.
And so to be able to be like, oh, my phone's over there because I'm covered in chicken right now. Instead, I'm not putting raw chicken on this phone. So let me be over here. Let me chop and dice and all that kind of stuff. Like, yeah, it is genuinely relaxing. It's like a vacation in a sense.
It's a mini vacation.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then when it's done, if the family likes it, which fortunately they do, that's even more gratifying.
Yeah. So, okay, well, I love it. And Deep, for people who are listening to this and want to reach out and connect with you, whether it's about the business or cooking or anything going on, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
I think probably LinkedIn is the best way. I keep up with that and follow any responses or questions I get on that. So that's probably the best way to reach me.
All right. Well, we have it in the show notes. So go reach out to Deep on LinkedIn, say hello. And Deep, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me. I enjoyed the conversation.
Thank you for listening to People at Pyramid. If you enjoyed the show, please tell a fellow member. If you would like to be a guest on the show, check the show notes, and we look forward to seeing you around the club soon.